Hey everyone, Mark Hart here, and I'm really excited for the next session for our 2020 SOFA Summit, where we're now going to be taking a deep dive into each one of the different neighborhoods throughout Memphis. We have the A class, the B class, and the C class here, and we'll dive into a particular house in each one of those different neighborhoods, and we'll also show you video footage so you can actually get to understand what the neighborhood looks and feels like, because it's our goal to bring Memphis to you on your sofa. So let's dive into 2730 Fletcher. This is going to be in an A-minus neighborhood out in Cordova, Tennessee. So I'm going to share my screen. We'll get this started here. All right. So here is the wonderful, beautiful map of Memphis with downtown right next to the river on the west-hand side. And as the farther east you go, the newer and the larger the homes are going to be. So the subject property that we're going to be talking about now, 2730 Fletcher Cove, is going to be located out east in an A-class neighborhood called Cordova. So Cordova is going to be next to just north of Germantown, which Germantown is what we call A+ dollar signs. It's the highest income per capita in the entire state of Tennessee. So you definitely won't find cash flow there. Then it's also next to Bartlett, Tennessee, which is another A-class neighborhood. So it's tucked into a great part of town. Most notably, what's going on here is this is where we focus on a lot of our new construction. So a lot of new developments going on out here in Cordova, predominantly building the house to sell onto the retail market, selling it to a homeowner. So here, a very small percent of our business, we will actually purchase, renovate, and sell homes on the retail market. And the majority of what we're going to do is here in Cordova. So these are properties that are worth $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. And one thing that we love about the Cordova submarket is just how quickly and how much demand there are for these houses on the retail side. When we list a property, we're getting multiple offers the same day, and we're doing highest and best, and they're going for $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 over list price. So the Cordova submarket is absolutely on fire. So if we can get a $150,000 to $200,000 rental, that's going to be just a great asset in the long run, because down the road in 10, 20, 30 years, you could sell it to a homeowner as well. So that's one of the big benefits of the A-class neighborhoods here. So real quick, the difference between an A, B, and C class neighborhood: the A-class neighborhood is going to be 90% or more homeowners and 10% or less renters. Then the C-class neighborhood is going to be the polar opposite. Just about all renters and a few homeowners. And the B as in boy is going to be the average for Memphis, right around 50% renters and 50% homeowners. So some of the big benefits of going into an A-class neighborhood like Cordova is steady, consistent appreciation. Over the last, since 2016, Memphis has been appreciating at around 5% year over year. And a market like Cordova is going to be on the higher end of that spectrum, coming in around 6 to 7%, if not more, year over year. So you get some great appreciation, at least historically speaking, of course, and you can also get some great cash flow. So real quick, it's always great to drive around and check out the street view of the property. So here is the house with the little white car. That is the subject house. And this rental property is on a cove. So very desirable among renters, nice safe place for families and to have their children run around and play. So as you can see, beautiful neighborhood. Most of the homes that we're going to have here in Tennessee are going to be brick. The larger houses will have 2 stories, but the majority will be single-story ranch style. But as you can see, just absolutely stunning, big, beautiful houses here. It's just a great, quiet, clean, safe neighborhood, and a beautiful place, to own rentals. All right. So now diving into our Google Drive, our due diligence vault, where we have all the information that you need to make an educated decision on whether or not this investment will be a good fit for your portfolio. And always recommend starting out with the pro forma. So this house here on Fletcher Cove, sorry, at a sale price of 174,900. So this is, just to clarify, a sample property that we have already sold in the past. We've gone full circle on the home because we want to show you the before, the during, and the after. So this home here already sold to an investor. We had an appraisal get performed, and it came in at $176,000. So about $1,100 over our sales price. As of recording this video, on average, our appraisals come in overvalue $2,300. So you should expect to get, a little bit of equity on your property day one. So this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, 1,700 square feet, built in the late 90s. So that's great to see since our average home is built in the 60s and 70s, and it has a garage. So A-minus neighborhood. This property here is a target rent of $1,450 per month. We were able to hit that rent on a 2-year lease as well, which we were really excited about. All right, so then as we scroll down here, you'll see most notably the net cash flow of $279 per month. This is going to be the cash flow after vacancy reserves, after maintenance reserves, and after all of your expenses. So this is the annually $3,300. This is what you can now go and reinvest into another down payment for another property. At least that's the goal. So then down here, assuming you take a conventional mortgage, which is putting 20% down on a 30-year loan with a fixed interest rate, you can get 10 of these loans. So assuming you put 20% down, this has a cash on cash return of 8.7%. And once again, that is after vacancy reserves, maintenance reserves, property management fees, and most notably, that is also after taking into account closing costs. Because when you calculate the cash on cash return, it's really important to make sure that you add in the down payment of 20% plus closing costs. So just be careful of that. Make sure you always add that in to get a true cash on cash return. So absolutely incredible. You can get that almost 9% there. What we love is that we only put a 2.5% as the property appreciation rate, and that's going to give you an 11.4% ROI. Reason being is because you're not buying this property in cash, paying $175,000. You're only putting 20% down. But what's great about real estate is you get to keep all of the appreciation. So even though you only put 20% down and the bank finances the other 80%, you get to keep 100% of the appreciation. And assuming you just get a 2.5%, so significantly below what this neighborhood has been performing, that's an 11.4%. So if you really calculate it out and it's closer to that 6 to 7% year over year range, well, now we're talking almost 20-30% ROI per year just from leveraged appreciation. Two beautiful words there. So then also your mortgage principal reduction, the tenant is going to be paying the rent, which covers the mortgage, and that will go and increase your net worth ever so slowly at a 6.2% return. And then you get some tax savings as well. So even being in an A-minus neighborhood, you can still get this 29.2% total return on investment after paying us to be your property managers and to have a full renovation be performed. So that's a little bit more about the pro forma of an A-minus home. Now what we're going to do is take a quick look at the scope of work here. So this is a perfect example because when it says new, that means we personally are going to be, during the renovation, putting on a new 30-year architectural shingle roof. If it says installed in 2020, that means the previous owner installed the item at that time. And so we're just going to service it, clean it, and make sure that the heating system and the central air conditioner are in great shape. These items will have a 1-year warranty because we have a construction warranty on every single one of our turnkey properties. And what that means is if there's any item that we fixed on our original scope of work that actually breaks within the first year due to poor construction and a poor job, well, then we'll go out and fix that for free. We'll actually just send the work to the original HVAC technician that did the work to begin with, and they'll do the work for free. So we'll have that on every single one of our turnkey properties for 1 year. So then here's a perfect example of the water heater, approximately 2 years old. So that means we're going to leave the water heater in the home. So it will be 2 years old. It does have that 1 year warranty as well, because we will clean and service it. But it's our goal to make sure that all these major CapEx items are either brand new or just a few years old, so you can wrap those costs into the mortgage day one. Then the flooring is going to be hard surface flooring in the living room, kitchen, and the bedrooms. And then appliances are yes to a dishwasher, no to range, yes to vent-a-hood, and no to a refrigerator. And that's because the tenants will bring their own appliances, which is great because that means when they break that they're going to pay for them to be repaired. All right. Another thing that we put in our due diligence vault is going to be our MAR Data 3-up report. So this is a comparative market analysis, the same overall process that the appraiser is going to use when they're trying to figure out what is this home actually worth? Is it worth $175,000? Is it worth more? Is it worth less? And what they're going to be doing is they're going to look at the features of the home, the square footage, the bedroom, bathroom count. They're going to look at the parking of the property. And most notably, they're also going to look at the interior and exterior condition of the home, right? There's a big difference between a house that just received a new renovation and is in great shape, or one that hasn't had any love and care for 20 years, right? So that's why the appraisers will actually go into the property to confirm. So here, if you look at the price per square foot, that's $99.66 per square foot. As you can see, the comparable sales that we use when we set the sales price, they come in at 107, 103, and 103. So you always want the comparable sales price and price per square foot to be over what the subject property is, because that means you have the best chance to get some equity day one. And once again, that does happen on average, $2,300 for our properties here. All right, so now what we're going to do is just take a look at the professional photos of the home. All right, so here's a picture of the bathroom. Nice, clean, safe tub. We have the tile. Always want to make sure you have hard surface in the wet areas. Love how there's actually 2 sinks in the bathroom as well. So you don't need to put in all the brand new white countertops, marble countertops. It's not needed in all of these houses here in Memphis, Tennessee, because our renters really just want it to be clean, safe. They want to make sure that the roof doesn't leak when it rains, that AC works in summer when it's really hot. Here's a perfect example of our luxury vinyl plank floors. Instead of adding carpet to the main floor, which would be a little bit less expensive, we put in the higher quality material of the LVP floors because it lasts multiple turnovers from the tenants. So that means it's a maintenance preventer, and it will reduce your turnover expenses down the road, which will ultimately increase your cash flow. So that's what we focus on when we're doing our renovations, and we'll have Sean and the team really dive into that a little bit later. It's also great to see the master bedroom with the big old vaulted ceilings. There's an extra beautiful bathroom here. All right, perfect example of the kitchen. We have the tile floors. These countertops are for mica. Once again, we do not need the granite here in Memphis. Here's the type of appliances that we will add. This is it for appliances. The rest are going to be brought by the tenant. It's absolutely incredible because it will reduce your overall expenses. We also like to keep we don't like our cabinets to be white because then there'll be fingerprints on them between the tenant turnover, and you're more likely to have to repaint them. We can't just clean that off. And so if we can keep it a gray tone color, well, then maybe we can just clean the cabinets. And once again, if we can let things last through multiple turnovers, that's just going to help you in the long run. All right, nice dining area there. And then beautiful shot of the front exterior. So now we're gonna actually go to the property and show you some footage from this exact house, this cul-de-sac. So you can see we did drive around the Google car, but we also want you to see real footage so you can actually see and compare and contrast the two. So hope you enjoyed it. Let's go check out the property.